Welcome to this free immigration help channel. In this video we are talking yet again about asylum, specifically the EAD, Employment Authorization document clock whenever it comes to pending asylum applications. Now in the past couple of weeks I've received several comments from the viewers of this channel, and the question basically was that time clock sped up? Was it cut short? And I'm not sure if there is an online forum or maybe an attorney website or something like this that is kind of spreading this misinformation. A lot of times it's misinformation that is kind of clouded by certain existing maybe government sources, but nevertheless it's still not a correct information and it creates confusion. So I wanted to make this very short video to clarify that. Before I begin, I'm gonna mention, as I mentioned in every single video, I'm not an immigration attorney. This is not a legal advice. All the information that I provide in my videos are directly from official government websites, and in this case this is US Citizenship and Immigration Services. This is their asylum page, basically the page that in general talks about asylum. You can find this information throughout the website. You can find it on the asylum application form, the form I-589. You can also find it on the Employment Authorization document, application instructions, and the application itself, the form I-765. So you can find that information if you dig in, but again, you have to open the official government website in order to see that. So here on this page, if we scroll down, there's the very first tab, and I'll put the links in the description below. Permission to work in the United States, and as you can see, it did not change. It's still 150 days after you file your asylum application, and then 180 days. They cannot issue within the 180 days. So that's another reason people having a little bit of a confusion whenever it comes to Asylum EAD clock, because there are 2 days, 150, 180. Which one is that? So basically, the way the website explains, 150 days you can file the application for employment authorization, right? So after you file that asylum application, 150 days after you file your asylum application, you can submit the application for the employment authorization document. However, it cannot be issued until the total of 180 days. So basically, you're allowing 30 days for the processing of that application for employment authorization document. All right. Now, it's really up to you. I've heard, from attorneys, I've heard advice saying that, hey, you want to wait 180 days and then apply. And then from others, I've heard, 150 days you wait and apply, that's fine. Honestly, stick to whatever the official government source is telling you. If you want to apply after 150 days, that will be completely fine. Just make sure you don't file under. Probably a common sense recommendation would be file that, wait 150 days after you receive the receipt notice from USCIS saying, hey, we have accepted your application. So for example, let's say you filed your asylum application March 1st, 2023. All right. So it's been already 13 days. Let's say you received the notice, the first notice from USCIS saying that, hey, we accepted your application, we received your application, receipt notice, right? And it's dated March 10th. Just a good common sense recommendation, 150 days, wait from March 10th. Now, again, according to the official government source, you can do 150 days after you file your asylum application, which is March 1st. But just to be on the safe side, because technically it's pretty hard to prove when exactly, you can show the receipt, the mailing receipt and all, but when you have the receipt notice from USCIS saying that, hey, we have received your application, that date is already in USCIS system, so there is no basically way out of it. So I would wait until you get that receipt notice and start counting 150 days from then on, if that makes sense. Now, whenever it comes to the EAD, Employment Authorization Document application processing in general, I wanted to point out that as well, because they actually did speed up the process a little bit whenever it comes to the processing of the Employment Authorization Document, specifically based on pending asylum applications. So we're gonna go to Tools, and I'll show you the processing of the Form I-765. And I clicked on the wrong one. We want to go to Case Status, and then we're going to go to USCIS Processing Time Information, Visit Page, select the Form 765. Let's see, 765. Here we go, Application for Employment Authorization. From category, now we're going to select the pending asylum. Let's see, based on pending asylum. Now there are two options. There's the renewal replacement and there's the initial application. So for the purposes of this video, we're going to do the initial application. And as you can see, there's only 2 service centers that process this application. So we will do both and we'll compare them. And you will see there's C notes, because there was a recent change, and it's on both of them. Texas Service Center, the same thing. Alright, now we're going to scroll down to Notes. If you have applied for an initial Employment Authorization Document, initial, based on a pending asylum application, you may be eligible to have your EAD processed within 30 days. Okay, now the time clock is starting to make sense. Why they have 2 numbers, they have 150 and then 180. After 150 days, you file the application, and then USCIS, they try to process it within the 30 days and then issue you your Employment Authorization Document by that 180 days, 6 months mark. So after total of 6 months pending asylum, you have your Employment Authorization Document. Now, again, this is just what USCIS is trying to accomplish, but keep in mind, because with the Employment Authorization Document process, there is biometrics involved, so you will have to receive the notice of the biometrics appointment. You'll have to go for a biometrics appointment, fingerprints, pictures, the processing, the background check of after the biometrics appointment. So 30 days, I would say, for USCIS is pretty ambitious. It used to be about 3 to 4 months for the processing of the Employment Authorization Document applications in general, including the pending asylum applications. But now, as you can see, they're trying to do 30 days. Again, it's not a guaranteed. It's 80 cases of, you know, of the applications that maybe are processed. And again, this is not even a guaranteed timeline, because if it was closer to the realistic timelines, you would have had a number of months here how long these processing centers take. So this is not a guaranteed time, unfortunately. But with that being said, if your application is pending more than 30 days for the Employment Authorization Document, I would definitely submit a case inquiry with USCIS. And sometimes I actually got a comment the other day that the person was not able to submit the case inquiry because it was saying that the application is still within the processing time, and that's a bug on the USCIS side. Why? Probably because they don't have an actual number yet. So really, for however long your application is pending, you won't be able to submit the case inquiry. But in that case, I would recommend actually changing the case inquiry and filing it not based on the Employment Authorization Document, but based on actual pending asylum. And in there, putting the in the notes, putting that you're still pending for the Employment Authorization Document, and it has been more than 30 days. So let me know in the comments below. I try to make this video as as short as possible, but it still came out pretty long. So let me know in the comments below if you have any questions about any of this, process, and I will be happy to address them every other day. I try to make a video. It goes by volume, answering your immigration related questions, where I go through all of your comments and answer the questions one by one. So if you want to see that, make sure to ask the question and then subscribe so that you don't miss the video with the answer. As always, thank you very much for watching. God bless, and I'll see you in the next video.